Hi guys, and welcome to May Is Your Ex Coming Back series. So this is dedicated to the people who kind of like still have this connection to their ex, or they're feeling the ex might be coming back. Just keep in mind that if you kind of decide in your head that you don't want to take him or her back, that's the final answer. So that kind of like trumps any other influence, and you already know what you're going to do about it. Still, sometimes it's fun to see how they're thinking in their own head. I'm going to show you the significators because I have developed this spread. It took me quite a while to actually find a combination, and you can imagine finding a combination of 7. We have here in Ontario 749, so you pick 7 numbers out of 4 and 9, so I picked 7 numbers out of 78, so actually much harder, so hence it is really difficult to do this. But finally I find something that really works, and these cards are from a different deck. Think of that as the chapters of the book. I'm going to explain to you what they mean. So before I get there, just to let you know that I actually started a first group of tarot school. I'm really excited, and I'm so excited because everybody in the school is like so much fun. It's just like, oh my gosh, you want more? Here, more. If ever in life, you know, one can actually wish for it, this was the one. And oh my gosh, I have to tell you, I am so excited. So the next round is going to be the 15th of May. You can sign up. The link is in the description box. And I actually decided I'll have small, basically groups. Initially, I thought it's going to be a self-study, no guidance of mine. But I'm actually interacting by actually fixing the homework, checking the homework, giving guidance. So hence it's going to be more of my hands-on. So you can join in. Now I'm getting a clear idea how this is going to go. And as I said, it's going to be a limited group, maybe 10 at a time. I kind of like took, I think, quite a bit in this first round, but that's okay because I love how insistent and how basically intense they are, because they're going to make this really good for everybody else who follows. So okay, so let's jump into this. This X spread kind of like has this elements, has this, let's call it dimensions, that I really want to address over here. And they make sense. You see, in this group that is represented with the magician, I want to see what in this relationship works, and sort of like what are these like brownie points that you can earn like without much effort. So also it's going to tell me if this relationship was ever a go. In the second house, the temperance is reversed purposely because temperance usually makes things work. But I really want to see what is tearing this relationship apart and why the issues have been experienced over there. Then we have two significators. One, and I don't go with astrological things, and if you ever go in my school you will understand why. And this is basically telling me what kind of like personality you have to be when you date, because we're not the same person when we date and when we settle in. So hence it's going to be one significator and a second significator. And here, and the cat is trying to destroy my headset over here. Here we are going to see the energy in between, like this like flow of love and exchange and what's going on. And now these two cards, the Judgment, is going to tell me what karma is thinking about this whole mix. Is this doable? Is it workable? How to go about that, right? And lastly, we will have the Four of Wands. Generally, Four of Wands always talks about the next stage. So what is the next stage in this relationship? Is it good? Is it bad? It's going to depend on the sign. And lastly, how I do the signs. Keep in mind that most of us are just humans. I'm sorry, I actually live in a very quiet part of Toronto, really very much to the river and forest, but sometimes we get these noises, especially at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you are watching this because you're still connected, sometimes we have the karmic bond, sometimes like it takes time to get over a relationship, then it is really good to check for both of you. It's also good to check for your partner's Mars sign, because Mars sign tells you really what they want. You can just Google, find the free natal chart for anybody, and you will figure out what is a Mars sign for somebody. And that way we can kind of like determine really what is the really good chance of this relationship. And last point, guys, this is a general reading, so I'm focusing on you, and you already have you and somebody else in mind. You're already holding the energy of not only 2 main signs, but also their ascendants and everything else. So I'm accumulating all this energy, focusing on it, shuffling the cards toward that energy, and delivering. It is different when I'm doing the private reading, and this spread is on the special. It is still $50. I'm keeping it because when people are in distress, I really don't want to make money of them. The regular price for this is $65, but I have been keeping it discounted. And now it's also a speed up promotion that is happening simultaneously. So instead of waiting 3 weeks for this to come back to you, you're getting it within a week. So it is a good deal to try it. So let's start with Maze. Is your ex coming back? Scorpio, and welcome to your Maze. Is your ex coming back? Oh boy, this is amazing. Sheesh. Look at his majors. The Empress, the Emperor, the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess. Awesome. So, let's go. The Emperor, the Empress, both reversed. So, looks like a couple that is no longer a couple. Maybe somebody's extending this, cup of love over here. Knight of Cups is this knight in the shining armor coming over. And these big changes are happening. But there is still sort of somebody turning inside. Maybe you'll be dealing with some kind of legal issues. Maybe you'll be dealing with some kind of fairness. Maybe something has to be taken in account that hasn't been done before, because the King of Swords is notoriously fair, even at the point that hey, you're crazy, this is not right. Well, they're convinced they're fair. Does any of us own this fairness? No, they believe they're fair from their worldview, right? So this is not universal fairness that comes in the card of justice. But look at these 2 different streams that I see here. One very loving, and one very solid, which is falling in the karma section, but also very measured, right? The King of Swords is intellectual powerhouse. Personally, this is my type of a man. Of course, I do like the King of Cups for half an hour. I like to hear good words about me. You guys like King of Cups, but to me, with this guy, you can talk anything. Poetry, politics, art, forestry, just you name it. It's wow. So, the person also oozes mystery. And guess who gets attracted to mystery? Yay! You. So guys, whether this is meaning that even though you came to the table to see this reading, you're saying, somebody new. Or this is meaning, okay, we have been so strong, this was supposed to go all the way, because you do have a karma card. This person was a karmic soulmate, and it's no wonder that you are still feeling connected. And what means karmic soulmate? chasing each other, one timeline after another, one life after another. If in this life you were saying, okay, well, it didn't work out now, maybe in the next lifetime, you have made a promise, you bound yourself. So when you see the swords, these people are able to cut those cords, because sometimes they're like nonsensical, because not in every life you had the same level of success, you had the same level of, you know, riches. And some things that maybe made sense back then are not making sense. What if you made a promise that you're going to bake the bread for somebody every day? You're like, are you kidding me? Like, I'll buy it, right? So when the swords show up, I always see them as clearance. They're saying, this is perishable, this is non-perishable, this gotta go, kind of a thing. Because I'm seeing you opening up to possibilities, dreaming again. You Scorpios had literally rags to riches, kind of lift off, and you were working on yourself, and now karma is stepping in again. And guess what? Scorpios have few layers. You have a scorpion, little bug. Some of you will squish me because I'm saying little bug, but just give me another 30 seconds. And a little bug is sometimes very self-destructive, because it has this like tail, like if something doesn't work out, it's like, you're going to get me, I win. You know, my cat basically died on her own terms. She was like so poor sick, and I know that we have to euthanize cats or animals. We have this option that they don't suffer, but I couldn't do it. And I did it before, but with her I just couldn't do it. She was 21 years old. Her name was Oscar. It was her. I figured out when Oscar brought a letter home that she's not really Oscar, so she's really Oscarella. And so anyway, when the time came, and she was already old, it just happened just like that within a month, that she was getting weak. And finally I made an appointment with the vet, sat in a car, and put Oscar in a towel. And I swear to you, I just came to a curb, first curve, and Oski, she was not responding. We were like 10 minutes away from the vet's office, but she chose that this is her last breath. So that scorpion, they're very powerful. But then you get to fish with their versatility, with their kind of like agility. Then the next level for you would be eagle. Eagle, of course, has this like bird eye view, and this is like where you see many successful business Scorpios. But the highest level for Scorpio is Phoenix, and here you are. These are the fixed signs in this card, because whenever the wheel shows up, the big changes are happening. You guys are almost going to feel psychic-like abilities this month, and you might be even consulting a psychic or a tarot reader this month, because this other person is going to feel a little bit out of normal sort of behavior. They're going to sort of have one of those anomalies, right? Whenever you see an anomaly, we all react to it. Somebody calls you all the time, then they disappear. You kind of like notice, right? So they might feel a little bit kind of like to themselves. And when usually that happens, we are saying, okay, what have I done to you? Have I done anything to you? And look at that. And there is this Queen of Swords. And so what they do is now catching on. So there is like somebody still from the past. This could be also a couple with a person. Something from the past just could never work. It was not even set on a proper ground. And this is also telling me, guys, most likely that you're cutting this past. You're becoming this Queen of Swords. It's not being in your element, but you're saying, hey, you want to rock? I can meet you there. Because look at how high this phoenix is. This phoenix is not in the bottom in the water. It's like flying. It's resurrecting. You guys were going through transformation for, I believe, I started this channel last year in February. And very soon afterwards, Scorpion started to, I don't know if I can call it act up, but I did see not a little bit, but quite a bit of turmoil, of determination. And then I think you just reach some kind of clarity. And this year is supposed to be spectacularly good for you. So guys, if you haven't gotten my annual scopes, check it out, because it kind of gives you this more in detail. This is like your year. Look at this. You are like asserting yourself. You're absolutely asserting yourself. What the heck is the marriage? Is this other person pulling away and then coming out, talking about some rules or asking for a marriage? Which is kind of is weird, because both of these cards are saying, well, look, I am into this to win. It's all cool, but the air, like the swords, are here to basically cut the karma. I'm wondering if it is time for you to be timeless. Meaning jumping off the wheel, just releasing karma, period. But this card says, nope, nope, I'm not letting you. You're still going to adhere to these earthly laws. But then there is like some kind of like sense of resignation of, you know, I just dropped the ball, etc. Somebody will be interfering. Somebody's interfering in this relationship. Or maybe there was a third party, guys, that you're saying, hey, you know what? I know about this Queen of Wands, even though this Queen of Wands is representing you. Or I know about this Queen of Swords. So maybe you have been the third party, and hence this cannot be built up. Hence somebody saying, okay, I'm not in love with this person. This kind of is the way it is, but I have to be with this person. And hence this is happening. Let me see, where else is this going? Oh my gosh, there is the Justice. Look at this, one on another. You have lots of people either literally around you, or you will be mulling them over in your own head. Wow. Jeez. The Tower card, when it comes reverse, it says that you're just blind. You have a blind spot. You're not realizing you're living for this love message, but this person is just simply, you almost like, some of you expect that somebody's going to marry and choose you, and this can indicate divorce. But I think this is for those of you who are divorcing. Because I think this person is sticking the way they want to be. Because, oh my gosh, this is kind of hard to guess. Be very careful, because these two cards are not good. This says the details are overlooked. This is saying, if you get involved into this, guys, you might get karmic repercussions, because look at this. Now we have two karma cards showing up. This person is definitely reminiscing. There is something about the past. So they are having a difficult time living their life. They're stuck in this past, because look at these two circular references that we have. Here you are eagle, and here you're phoenix. So the world card reversed is not a good card to get, because this person, it's kind of situation when you go, you're so happy about something, and then things don't pan out, right? Or you're stuck in the past. You're stuck with something, which here shows some people, some activities. Somebody may be married, maybe even two couples, maybe something that hasn't have good communication. Maybe even somebody you wanted to marry, or somebody that was divorcing in this kind of whole situation. Maybe you guys are divorcing. That is a possibility that you're finally reaching the stage when you're saying, okay, here is the line. This is before, this is after. But I'm here right now. What do I do right now? Because not many people notice this. But in this card, look at her here. This is kind of like, they're link cards, but this one is a major arcana. So she's holding that sword just like here, and she's holding the scale. And when it's kind of reversed, and certain things work against you, and it's calling for you just to take it, and saying if you don't, you're absorbing this karma upon yourself. So for example, somebody wrongs you, and let's say somebody robs your place, and you go and take your gun and shoot them. So you took karma in your place, versus, I don't know, calling the cops, setting the system, going through it, so the universal law being applied, right? So what many people are not seeing, not only is she having her hand stretched out for, hey, give me your understanding of the situation, right? And there is this person who also has the hand raised and is going to say, well, these are my rules. This is what I need. Kind of a thing. It could be children that are really important in this particular case because of the Six of Cups that I'm seeing here. It's kind of interesting. Honestly, we are out of Mercury retrograde, but I am seeing people popping up from all over the place. And these people are influencing this progress, because the World is a great card when it's upright. It talks about going to the next stage. So here there is like sort of delay in how you communicate, in expression. It might feel a little bit harsh. It might feel like things are wobbly, even maybe, you know, getting to the stage of, as I said, divorce, of a breakup, or you might be considering this. This person is maybe also asking, well, this is what I need this to go in this direction. But this person also doesn't have a clue about how to go about that. So again, the devil's in the detail, and the details are being missed this period of time, because there are 8s over here that are really important. They're like 3 8s. So this is like really emphasizing that this is like something that has to be seen. But nonetheless, guys, there'll be really big changes, and then you will get stuck. So karma is saying there is something you need to resolve karmically. So guys are going to figure it out by the end of May. And thank you so much for being here with me. You can order your own reading on cattarot.ca. And in the meantime, please subscribe, like, and share. And most importantly, please give me your comments, especially you, the cross watchers, because every sign has basically good and bad, right? And it's good to see through your eyes how the situation is evolving. Thank you so much. Love you, and I'll talk to you soon.